Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the first ever episode of Sports Talk with Mr. Perfection. Remember, always, let me find it here. I'm new to this, so it might take me a little bit to get used to. If you could, please, if you see that little banner right there that says please hit that sub button or hit that like button, and also please hit that subscribe button as well. Uh, It would help me out a ton, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, down there at the bottom, next guest. Our first guest, he will be on in just a minute, just a few minutes, just a little bit. Uh, he just hopped in the shower. I told him take his time. I'll feel for him. I'll put him over. I'll feel time for him. Uh, So there it is, man. We are currently live right now. If you guys are enjoying, most of you will watch this afterwards. We probably won't get a lot of people. You sure, bro? We're actually going to go on 5 minutes earlier. All right. Well, let me go ahead and invite him really quick. It might take me a second, so just give me a few seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and invite. Go move the microphone over just a tad. All right. I just sent him the link. All he has to do is copy that. He should be taken right to it. Thank you all. Let me switch thing there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, most of you will probably watch this afterwards. Um, and that is perfectly fine. I don't expect a lot of people to get in here. I mean, we only have 100 subs. But I do have to give the credit to Kevin from Wrestling Review Society. He does a podcast every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. It's called the War Room Podcast. So, oh my God, Wrestling Review Society. I'm just talking about Wrestling Review Society, and there Kevin is. I have to give Kevin credit. I didn't know what StreamYard was, and I've always wanted to do like a podcast like his. Sorry, let me move my microphone back into place there. I've always wanted to do a podcast or like a show like his. Yes, he puts himself over all the time, and I want to have him on as a guest. And I'm gonna ask him a question about Orange Cassidy that he's probably gonna be like, I don't know what his thing is with Orange Cassidy, but I can say that I'm not an Orange Cassidy fan myself, so I understand what that means for everything. I'm still waiting on my guest to get in here. If he's having technical difficulties, I'll just screen share and then I'll Facebook call him. Because not everybody has the understanding of it. It just took me a few days to get used to this. Also, if it's terrible tonight, I'm sorry. Bro, the Orange Cassidy thing. Here's the thing with Orange Cassidy with me. Like, I've not really went back and watched old school wrestling. Like, I love like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, but in terms of like the technical stuff, that's normally not my thing. Like I said, I'm kind of like the luchador high flying style, and I don't like Orange Cassidy. I think his gimmick's stupid. I don't like him at all. The whole thing with like the half thumbs up, like what? Another guest that I was in talks with to bring on here. I haven't hit him up yet, but Zach Monstar. I recently, if you guys go back and look at the Brotherhood Gaming channel, I reacted to his death match with Raven Havoc, and I've never seen anything like that before in my life. Uh, I've never had anything like that happen before in my life. Like I've never watched that and been like, "Oh, yeah, that's perfectly normal." Uh that's perfectly normal to, just slam your opponent through glass and be okay with it. And then another guest I want to have on, I want to talk to you guys. I'm still waiting on my guest. He should be here any moment. I'm not seeing any uh there he comes. There he comes. All right, let me bring him on. There he is. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Damn, his voice has changed. I haven't seen him since March. Sound like Darth Vader.
What's been going on?
I've just been working, man, grinding. I've not had a good day. For those of you who know me on Facebook, you know I haven't had a good day, but I'm doing all right, man. The pandemic's doing good, so what the hell? I pushed my phone. Sorry about it, guys.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
sorry to cut you off. What were you saying?
I said, yeah, definitely.
This pandemic has been hell on us all.
Yeah.
Do you want to say hello? All right, Kevin, give me just a second. Send me a message on Facebook. That way, when I switch over, then I'll have you just automatically right there. That's Kevin from Wrestling Review Society. Like I said, he also hosts a show just like this every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. He's interviewed people like Matt Riddle, like Stevie Richards, like Zach Monstar. So my questions for you is for your football career and your story, because your story is really inspirational for those who don't know. So I want to start off on when did you first start playing football?
I've been playing football since I was like 3. I was playing flag football then. And I think I've started playing actual football when I was about 5. And ever since then, I've been playing.
So it's always been something that has just been really important to you.
Definitely. I was born with football in my hand.
See, that's the way I feel about wrestling. So I completely understand what you're saying there. Um, so obviously, you had a couple health issues, and I want to bring that up now. I asked you if it was okay. Give me a second, Kevin. I will send you a link. I wanted to ask you if it was okay because I didn't know if it was a touchy subject for you. Obviously, people get offended nowadays with those certain
Uh,
things. So,
yeah.
what exactly were your health issues? I never really understood.
So I have a few diseases, but I have a nerve disease that really like pulls it all together. It's called CRPS or RSD, and so what it does is like if I like stub my toe, most people's nerve system will like just dismiss the pain after a couple, but mine it like makes everything go crazy, and I start to hurt all over because my nervous system's jacked up. So really, it takes me for if somebody stubs their toe and it takes them maybe a week to heal, it'd take me 2 or 3 months. So it just really it slows down my whole entire progress of everything.
So it slows down your like healing process.
Yeah, it slows a lot of stuff down, especially with the whole nerve system thing. That's what really helps heal you. Like your injuries and mine, where it's jacked up, it takes a whole lot longer to help me get better.
I'm gonna take a brief second. I'm not gonna be on screen because I gotta send Kevin that link. Give me just a second. Oh wait, I'm screen sharing, so I will be on screen. My bad. Give me just a second here, man. Gotta move the microphone. Using one hand to type, so you know. Hashtag 100. Struggles. Oop. There you go, Kev. And so, you've been a really good friend of mine since middle school. So
Yeah, I remember when we used to play basketball together, bro.
that's what I was getting ready to say. Um, I really knew that this dude was an amazing human being. when he just came over and started playing basketball with us, because special ed kids, they don't really, even if you're not stupid, people look at you like you are. Um, so Caleb was kind of a popular guy. I don't like to use that word because he doesn't even like using that word. But he was a football player. He did everything, and then he just started coming over and playing basketball with us, and we've been friends ever since. Um, so moving on into my next question, was it hard? Did you ever have doubts when because you were out of school for a long, long time? Um, was there ever any doubt of you would never play football again?
For sure. I'd go through every day having to keep myself motivated to think about maybe one day stepping back out on the field. It wasn't like, oh, just a breeze through the wind. It was an everyday battle mentally trying to keep myself motivated to keep pushing till I could get to the point to where I could step out on the field again. It was definitely a rough road to get here.
So I remember you being in a wheelchair at one point, and
Yeah,
as your brother, like a dude that loves you to death, like you're my family. It broke my heart to see you like that because I'm used to seeing, you're crossing me up and breaking my ankles and not taking it easy on me, and to now seeing you being what's the right word, relegated to a wheelchair, it just broke my heart.
right. Yeah. I've been in a wheelchair. I was in a wheelchair for like a year and a half. It definitely. I started. I think at one point I started to lose like my muscle mass and like my legs and stuff because I couldn't use it. It was definitely a rough road to get to where I'm at now, but I'm here.
I know it was a rough road. So touching on, we always talk about NFL here. You're a big Patrick Mahomes fan, correct?
I love all sports, but yeah, definitely Patrick Mahomes definitely has a grip on me.
So the question that I want to ask, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for my opinion, you watched the Cleveland game, right? With
Yeah,
Kansas City.
actually, Cleveland's actually one of my favorite teams. They are my favorite team, and I
Wow.
are we going to talk about the hit that happened?
Yes.
Yeah, that hit was definitely a dirty call.
See, I disagree.
That was definitely personally for me. I believe that should have been called targeting, but like I said, everybody has their own opinions, so you really can't
Yeah, you
say. I
can.
mean, that could have went both ways.
So do you think you'll play against the Bills this coming weekend?
Uh, Honestly, I don't know. It it's honestly all going to depend upon probably these next 2 days. Depends on how his injury's healing and stuff. Because I know he was going through concussion protocol. So honestly, it's really just going to depend on how he's doing.
He was he was not doing too well when he was stood up. He was not
Yeah,
doing
he definitely wasn't doing too well when he went to the locker room there.
okay, brother. Take your time. No rushes. So you're a wrestling fan as well.
Yeah,
So we all know that wrestling is in my blood. Um, I know nobody wants to hear my story because this show isn't about me; it's about my guest. But do you remember like the first wrestler that you saw that was like, dang, this is awesome?
the first wrestler I ever watched was probably honestly John Cena was probably my favorite because I was like 3 years old and my grandmother was running after me to get me in our yard and I jumped up in front of her face and did the "you can't see me" thing. And ever since then, he's probably one of my favorites.
So he's one of your favorites.
Definitely, definitely.
So I have a question because this is I hate Goldberg. For those who don't know, do you think bringing Goldberg back at the Rumble to face McIntyre for the WWE Championship is a good idea?
Personally, I like Goldberg, but I think they need to let the old man rest. I mean, they bring him in to get the title, and he ain't even part of the storyline. They need to let him go to sleep for a little bit.
I have one thing to say about you liking Goldberg. Undertaker at Super Showdown. He almost ripped my childhood away from me.
Like
I
I
was
said, Goldberg, I like Goldberg because he's definitely a legend. But then again, I honestly think they just need to let him retire, or he needs to go ahead and retire because he's old.
yes, yes, he is. There's a lot of questions surrounding the Rumble this year. We'll get back to football in just a second, but there's a lot of questions surrounding WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble. I know for me, being such a big wrestling fan, I never thought how important the fans were until there were no fans.
Listen, after realizing with any type of sport, as of right now, fans, like you said, I never thought fans were a big motivation, but when you don't got that, I guess you'd say the blare of the chants from the fans, it's definitely a dinger.
Yeah, it's definitely something, especially like we're in Royal Rumble season. Royal Rumble is what, next week? Week
Royal Rumble is what the fans is what makes the Royal Rumble. And
exactly.
without fans is what is going to hurt them.
Like we can't count along to the clock.
What would be cool is if they could like put microphones, which again that'd be pretty bad, but like you know how they do this, they show the Thunderdome or whatever with all the people. Yeah, if they could have them all like be able to count down, or have like a little microphone thing that has the sounds from when they counted down before.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I feel like they'll add a sound effect, but it won't feel the same.
No, because the fans is really still what makes it. That sound really. I mean, it might make it a little bit normal, but it's not going to fix the whole void of no fans there.
It really won't. Like it's just one of those things that
They have to be there for it to happen.
they have to be there. That's what I'm saying. So going back to football and your return to football, you actually got back up on the field, right?
Yeah, I'm playing now. Actually since March I've been lifting 5 days a week, and I've been on an all protein diet and only eating bread once a day. I went to the doctor today actually to get checked, and I'm like 6'1.5", and I'm at 203 pounds. And when I started, I was 157 with 40 something percent body fat. I'm at 10% body fat now.
You're at 10% body fat. So you've been on that grind.
I've been doing it ever since March, ever since Corona hit.
Man, I gotta say, I never thought that I would miss going to school. But God,
Listen, I wish we could go back to that. It honestly sucks.
Oh, Kevin, I don't know how long you've been waiting there. I wasn't paying attention. I'm so sorry. What's up, man?
What's up, buddy? Hey, just below your screen, you'll see a bunch of options. Push the one that has the 2 squares in it.
The 2 squares?
Yeah, it's going to make all of our screens look better.
Oh, wait. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Where is the button? Oh, hold on. No, not share screen. Where is it? I'm slow. Just below, there's 3.
Yeah, like below, when you're looking at the screen with all of us on it, if you look directly below it, you'll see a bunch of options.
So we should do it this way.
Nope. The next one.
The next one over?
Yeah. See, there we go.
There we go. I'm learning. I'm getting this.
By the way, I may or may not have sent the link to another person, somebody that you're a big fan of. So
don't make me mark out.
I guess we'll see what happens.
No, fuck. I don't want to cuss.
Is he here?
No fucking way. Hold up.
Zach, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Kevin?
Zach
Okay, all right, act professional.
has become a
Shit. Okay.
I thought you weren't cussing.
I'm going to try not to, but it's Zach fucking Monster. I have questions for you, Zach.
Okay.
What is wrong with you?
A lot.
I asked him that question every day since I've met him.
A lot.
Hugged enough as a child. Is that what it is?
I wasn't hugged enough, or I was hugged too much. It was one of the two.
Because some of the stuff I've seen you do is just, you couldn't pay me enough. I've got one good arm, So I wouldn't do that even if I was on painkillers.
Did you like it?
Yes.
Did you see the recent video where he hit somebody with a twisted tea can?
Yes.
That's why I do it.
Scene where he beat the shit out of Bud Heavy.
Hey, but I got a bone to pick with him.
You get a
Bud Heavy did hit you in the balls. He also stole my title, so you know.
He stole your title.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to like take away from your guest or interrupt on Caleb's time. I heard you talking, saying that you're a huge fan of Zach's and that you wanted to meet him. You wanted to get him on your show. I messaged him and I said, "Hey, man, you want to make a kids' night?" And he said, "Why not?" So I told him a little bit about you. Told him you became a big fan of his. More than come on here and meet you. So I just got upstaged by Zach, but that's okay because
It's perfectly fine. Wow. I don't know what to say. Wow. This was supposed to be just a. Now I'm marking out. I'm speechless. I'm not gonna cry because that would make me look like a bitch.
so you saw Zach on my show
I did.
and you
then
watched
I
the
was like,
Havoc match.
what's my favorite match of his?
No, you said you watched the Raven Havoc match.
Oh yeah. That was too
What do you
much.
think?
That was too much. One spot that I did want to see, that, as I was thinking about it, I knew that I was like fucked up in the head that I thought about it. Do you remember when you carried him up the ladder to do the Death Valley Driver through the panel? I
Yes,
wanted
sir.
a Canadian destroyer off the ladder through the glass.
I can do that.
Why
Don't
hasn't
give
that
ideas.
I can do that. That's possible.
I mean, like, I don't know why I thought of that in my head, but I just saw you like carrying him up. I'm like, damn it, Zach, why didn't you just try to kill him? And then like that embrace at the end of the match where he shook his hand. Those are the moments in professional wrestling that made me a fan.
Thank you.
Fun fact about Raven Havoc and Zach. After they tried to kill each other, Raven Havoc was actually in Zach's wedding.
That I heard about that. And I'm like, damn, you just tried to kill this man and he's like in your wedding.
Raven is one of my best friends, like in the entire universe. So
But I'm
that's
the
what I do to my. Yeah, you're my actual best friend.
Actually,
But you know, Raven's right under Kevin. You know.
right under Kevin. I know you don't like talking about the thing, but I want to talk about Bud Heavy for a second.
You guys said you were wrestling fans.
Look at all those titles.
I'm going to get a belt. I gotta wait. I'm gonna get one. I need that AEW championship.
Oh, you mean that one right there? That one?
It's
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. What about the tag? What about the AEW tag title?
Now you're just flexing.
I mean,
So
But
I had a couple questions about Bud. You can't stand
Kevin,
Bud.
that's cool and all, but like,
Oh my god.
But like the TNT title though.
I mean, but like
Oh, that's really cool, Zach. Where'd you get it from?
you.
Best friend got it for you for your birthday.
I'm a huge Bray Wyatt mark, so anything but
Same.
makes me happy. But I
Also,
want to ask you guys each one more question. I don't want to take up all your night. I'm going to start with Zach and then Kevin, I'll go to you. You really hate Bud Heavy. Like it's not a gimmick. It's not storyline. You hate him.
yeah,
I can see why.
yeah.
He's not like
He's like the personification of an asshole.
Who just runs around hitting people in the balls, man?
Exactly. I just wanted to hit him, but I didn't want to hit him with like my left hand. I wanted to hit him with my right. And that's got to be bad because that's going to hurt me more than it would hurt him. So next time you see Bud, just try to kill him. Don't
Okay.
don't put him. Just put him in the hospital.
Okay, I can do that. I can hit him with like 17 Twisted Tea cans.
Yes.
Well, the next Real Pro show is the 13th of next month. Zach's gonna be there. Bud Heavy's gonna be there. I'm gonna be the ring announcer. So who knows what's gonna happen? Me and Zach both have a chip on our shoulder when it comes to Bud Heavy. So just tune in and watch when me and Zach break down the show.
He didn't even insult me, but I have a problem with Bud Heavy. I have like a real problem with him, and I don't even know why.
The world has a problem with Bud Heavy. That's the issue.
My issue with Bud isn't the fact that he stole my friend's title. It's not the fact that he hit me in the balls. It's the fact that every child that goes to a Real Pro show is going to look at him holding that title and say, that's how I have to act if I want to be a champion. And that's my issue with Bud Heavy. He is a bad representation for the company, and it needs to stop. That is
I
my
agree.
issue, is that children are going to look at him and go, that's what I need to be like, and that's not it. That's my issue with Bud Heavy now.
My issue with him is I understand when you get heat. Like, I really do. I understand to get heat. But to look at another wrestling fan and just plain out say, fuck you, and getting ready for him to fight you to the point where this man has to have security.
This
for
last
keeping beating the shit out of Bud Heavy.
This last show, it happened again.
It's not up on YouTube yet, but it will be soon. It happened again at this last show. Bud Heavy had two people try to rush the ring.
Of course it did. I don't understand what goes through his head.
Nothing. He's just a big old box of dumb rocks.
And his,
Mhm.
But I have one more question for Kevin, and I'll let you guys go and continue my interview with Caleb. Kevin, I've told you that you are probably my biggest inspiration to do this.
Thank you.
What made you want to do it?
So, I've always been a wrestling fan. What a lot of people don't know is that my uncle is actually in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Wow.
I've been a wrestling fan for a very long time. I can't remember a time where I didn't enjoy wrestling. And it started with just doing belt reviews, and then it went to making a Facebook page. Well, I really want to be able to sit down with wrestlers and really figure out what Zach Monstard do this, what makes all these other wrestlers. So I just started sending wrestlers when you Google their name, pop up, and I just sent out a bunch of emails. I've been very lucky to message me back and be willing to do the show. And Joe's like, Zach, me and Zach actually was on for the first. We hit it off like that. Ever since then, we talk every single day. We talk every day. Forth, we talk about belts, and I've become a lot of wrestlers that I grew up watching. Zicky Dice, now Zach Monster.
I like for me, not a lot of people know the story. I don't like to flex, but wrestling was there in a very dark place. Obviously, of course, you know the story. So wrestling was always there. It was something that I might go and do a ring insult. You're so random.
So, story about talk to Zach. He was at the table signing, and I'm 6'5", 100 pounds, and I was intimidated by Zach. I didn't. My wife actually go talk to him, and yeah, we become friends. Like the nicest guy in the world, gonna eat you. And
By the way, speaking of wife, to promote her business, A-Rock Designs make incredible things. Cups, everything. Some of the cups that I've seen, I'm like, no human should.
I have two.
That has two.
I have two. I have a Beetlejuice one, and then I have this awesome one of my mask.
That I could sit here and talk to you guys all night. I don't want to keep you. But like, I guess I could say, like, I first saw, like, I wasn't a big fan of deathmatch wrestling. I thought it was for the people that didn't have no talent, that couldn't get over with, you know, their raw ability, so they have to go and try to murder themselves to just get a reaction. But I saw Zach, and I was like, that dude could put over a broomstick.
I've done that at practice.
You know, I was not a deathmatch wrestler, not like deathmatch wrestling. And after him and seeing that any other kind of wrestling storytelling, it's just a different kind of story. When you learn to appreciate deathmatch wrestling is just as any other.
And my real thing, like, I've heard him say it before, and like, I know that's kind of part of his character, but Zach really doesn't play character. It's just a dialed up version of Zach.
No,
Really.
Zach lives the gimmick. There is no gimmick with Zach.
So I went back and I looked at the Real Pro Wrestling Hardcore division before Zach was even, like, you know, got to hold the title. And it was kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Zach made it what it is. Not to put Zach over, but Zach made it what it is. And those are certain things, like, obviously I want to be a broadcaster, and my dream is to be in AEW or WWE and be like a because those are my biggest inspirations. But I immediately saw Zach, and I immediately saw Real Pro Wrestling, and I was like, I don't care if WWE called me, then I would probably go, oh, I'm in talks to maybe go work for wrestling. I would take that opportunity over WWE.
That means a lot, man.
And I've never thought I would say that because I've been a fan of WWE since I was 5 years old.
That means a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're doing great. I will let you both go and continue my interview. Thank you so much, Zach, for coming on. You have no idea. I'm trying not to have a little Girl Scout. Kevin, thank you so much for joining, man. You are truly my big inspiration to do this. Sincerely, my brother. Do great work. And tomorrow.
Kevin's a good inspiration, man. If he tells you anything, listen to it. The dude is gold.
I appreciate that. Me, get out of here. Let you get back to the interview. Didn't mean to intrude on your time. I just heard you talking about it, so I figured we'd get on here. If there's any advice or anything, feel free to message me. You have Facebook, you have TikTok. Anything you need to add, you can message me anytime, and I'll help you the best I can.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
You too, man.
Have a good night, brother.
You too, Zach. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Holy shit, man. Well, that took a turn for the what the I know you don't know who that was. I will send you a clip of his or maybe a match, and you'll be like, "What the
Send
hell?"
me a link of their
The death match?
yeah, and I want to watch it.
I know I don't want to take up all your time. It's like 45 minutes long. I was gonna say it's right here, but we'll watch it. We'll watch it at another point. I'll send you a link and stuff. Because I know you're a very busy dude, and I want to continue with my interview. I don't want to keep you away from anything you're doing.
I know you're fine.
I'm gonna continue with my interview, but I'm trying not to cry right now. You know how much what I do means to me. So
Right.
to see two of my idols just come up on my stream for no reason at all, and just say hello and answer some of my questions, that was awesome. So back to your football. There's obviously, it's a team sport, so teammates mean the world to you. It's a brotherhood.
For sure.
Yeah. Are there any people that when you came back, I know it's all brotherhood, but at some point, like somebody's got to take somebody's spot. If somebody's out, then somebody's got to come in, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, was there any tension? Because somebody had to take your spot, right?
Well, honestly, where I started out back out in high school when I had to leave, there really was no spot I didn't really have. You really have to earn your spot, especially with me being the underdog at that moment. So, not really. There really wasn't no tension between it. I just I sat back and I watched and I learned so I could get ready for this season. I fed off everybody else's energy and see how they played to where I could get ready for this season.
You think you guys are ready?
For sure, for sure. Honestly, I think if we all come in good shape and ready to play, and COVID don't jack us up again, I think we have a good shot.
I do too. I don't go to the football games because I just it's not my thing. I don't do it. But I always watch what you guys are up to and see what you guys are doing, especially you, because your story was just so amazing to me. Um, so there's obviously people that inspire you to do football, right? There's people that you like go, I want to be like that dude one day.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean, I think everybody that's in any type of sport or any type of thing that they want to be, they definitely have an idol that they've wanted to be like when they got older. So yeah, for sure, definitely.
Definitely. Um, so who was your idol? Like who's that guy that
Honestly,
makes you go, I
this is gonna sound crazy, but honestly, you know who Derrick Henry is?
Derrick Henry?
Yeah, he's definitely probably been my idol, especially where I play running back. He's definitely been my guy that I've strived to be built like, just because he's just a freak of nature and when it comes to the sport. So for sure, it's been him.
So that led into my next question actually. What is your favorite position to play?
I prefer to play running back, but I honestly wherever I can get out on the field to be able to be a part to help get the win. Honestly, it really don't matter to me.
It doesn't matter. You're just a team player. So we went back to who, like your teammates and stuff, who helped you, like when you were like coming back. Who did you look at and go, okay, I'm gonna try to be on his level on the team and see if I can match and be up to level with these guys.
So one of the guys that I worked with during the off season, you know who Jackson Turner is? Yeah, me and him worked together during the off season. So he was definitely one of the guys that I looked up to on the team, especially where he plays running back as well. So for sure, probably him, especially where he helped me during when I was coming back this year. So definitely him.
Him. Um, there is a lot of good kids on that team, just wholesome people. Um, you look at movies like, you know, old school movies, the football players are always like the jerks, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a lot of the movies that's out or has been out makes the play for any sports player out to be like this jerk and no a snobby kid, but most of us are really just chill kids that are just like everybody else, but just plays football. It's nothing really different.
It's nothing really different. Um, that's what I was getting ready to lead into because obviously we've talked. It's always been my dream to play football. So when I met you, that was kind of my opportunity to maybe not play, but I lived through you. So I followed you and I checked up on you, especially when you were out. I wanted to make sure you were okay and how you were doing because what a lot of people don't understand about when I say family, that's not just a word to me. When I say you're my family, you're my family. So when he was out, I was checking on him every single day and making sure he was good because to me, he is so talented. There's a point to where if he keeps grinding, and I'm not saying this just to put you over in wrestling perspective, he could go to college level.
Yeah, thank you for that. But yeah, me and you honestly was probably one of my most what is still is my tightest friend when it comes to anything. You've stuck by me, bro. And even if we didn't talk every day, when we talk anytime, it'd be right back to the way we just got like we just finished the conversation. It really ain't changed. That's one of the reasons I call you my brother because you are you. it's like if we don't talk for a week, next week it's like we just finished the conversation, just starting a new one. It's something different.
Yes, and that's the way that real friendship should feel. I want to run an idea by you, and I'm not saying, oh, you should go talk to these people or go talk to these people and try to put me over. I had an idea, and it's been in my head since I was a freshman. So we have the people that call over the games, right? And we say, first down, the broadcasters. Why don't we have like a Facebook page or something that there's like a reporter or like a news thing that reports on the sports in our social media? Why is it not a thing?
I think we have a page for like the players, but honestly, I don't think anybody's really thought about it really. So if you wanted to do something like that, you possibly talk to I'd try either the head coach, which is James Barker, or probably James Barker or George Barker. It'd probably be your best two connections to get with because they's both head coaches, and George is James's dad, so they'd probably be your best connections to get with if you want to do something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm only going to keep you for about 15 to 10 more minutes, man. I don't want to take up much of your time. But while we're still here, we talked about football, so let's get your predictions for the Royal Rumble. What are your predictions?
Shoot. Who's all in it? I ain't been able to see who's all been in it. I've been caught
So
up.
there's not really been a lot of people that have declared their interest. Kevin, you can help me out. You're usually really good with that stuff. One of the big people that people are saying, oh, he could win is Big E. I don't think Big E's ready for that yet.
I think that they could possibly give Big E a push. Honestly, I think I could see him getting that push that he needs. I think he deserves it. But it really just depends. Like, is Keith Lee in it?
Keith Lee is definitely going to be in the Rumble.
I could definitely see him getting the push too. He's been in the spotlight ever since he came out of NXT. He was in the spotlight even in NXT. I honestly think that they should give him a push that he probably deserves. I know he deserves. So I think I'd give him a push towards that stardom, I guess you'd say.
That I feel like deserves a push that will never, ever get a push. And it's so sad to say because he could be the next Undertaker. I mean, I know The Fiend's the next Undertaker. Aleister Black.
Aleister Black, they put him like he's probably one of the most ready to be as like a star in the company, and they just threw him under the rug as nothing, just like they did Ricochet, and just like they did. Let's see who else. Shinsuke Nakamura. They threw him under the rug when they probably should be major stars in the company, and they just threw him under the rug. So I definitely think Aleister Black should get a shot. Will he? Probably not, because let's be honest, Vince McMahon don't use his talent very well.
No. One talent that I'm going to bring up, and we both know, I've talked about it enough. Finn Balor is the greatest wrestler on that roster. WWE, NXT, it doesn't matter. He is the greatest.
Personally, I believe
WWE
they made a smart decision. They made a smart decision by putting him back on NXT to let him get his stardom, because he's not going to get the push on Raw or SmackDown like he deserves, because Vince McMahon's all about.
But I'll let you finish your sentence. I keep cutting you off, and I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Vince McMahon's all about.
Go ahead.
Vince McMahon's all about real big, muscular guys, or hefty guys. He's not about the real small guys. So Finn Balor's not going to get a push that he deserves on Raw or SmackDown.
He's only about the people that can give him good shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So Kevin, I know you can probably clip this or you're gonna die laughing. I don't think Finn Balor is gonna get a push until Vince is dead. I said it.
I definitely agree with that 100%.
I don't think people from NXT will get a push until Vince is gone. I love Vince McMahon, but it's just the facts.
Until Vince at least quits or retires, nobody's going to get a push, because Vince is all about guys that's, like you said, it's going to give him the money, not guys that it's going to get him the ratings.
Exactly. So I want to do this with all my guests because obviously we're going to get a lot of sports guys on here, but it's mainly going to be about wrestling. Let's be honest. I like to talk about football, but my main goal is wrestling. It's what I focus on.
For sure, yeah.
told me that you would love to be a professional wrestler one day. Is there one guy that you look at and go, man, if I was ever to go to NXT or anywhere, that would be the first guy I would look at and go, I want to be in the ring with that guy.
Definitely. There's plenty of guys I can name off, honestly, but if it came to I had to pick one, it'd probably be I'd say I probably want the Fiend or Kofi Kingston, honestly, out of one of them two, just because those are two guys that I think would be a good matchup against.
See, a lot of people like have laughed at me because he's gone from WWE now, and it's Leo Rush.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Where is he at now?
I think he was in MLW for a little bit, and then he kind of just left to focus on his music.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I personally, for me, I believe his music is trash.
Wow.
That's a personal opinion, but he needs to work on his mic skills. He needs to add a little bit extra auto tune or something.
He's taking shots at Leo.
For sure. I mean,
If ever a guest on this show, I'm totally adding you into this, and you're gonna tell him his music garbage. I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna start a feud between you and the man of the hour.
I'd probably put a little bit more background music in his music to where we can't hear his voice as much. But
He does have a little bit of a weird voice.
he sounds like a little girl sometimes, honestly.
Keith Lee is money. Kevin just said Keith Lee is money. Keith Lee is reigning with money. Keith Lee is unbelievable. Like
If Vince McMahon wants to make money, he needs to give Keith Lee the push he deserves.
Yes. There's a lot of people that if he could look at him and make money, a lot of people are going to disagree. But I think Tyler Breeze is a really good, underrated talent.
He's definitely an underrated talent, but I don't think he is a world champion talent. Maybe
just go back and watch his match with Velveteen Dream at TakeOver.
I would give him maybe NXT championship, but he's not a WWE championship top caliber for me personally.
Okay, that's where I disagree. We agree to disagree. That's the great thing about this show.
All right.
So as we know, I'm only going to keep you on for a little bit longer. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Hurry the hell up. Let me get off of here. But obviously promos are something that is stabilized in professional wrestling. So I want to talk about promos. What is one promo that you can listen to over and over?
There's plenty of them, but you hit me on a. I wasn't expecting that one. Probably when CM Punk sat up there and he sat down on the thing and told him he was going to steal the championship. I believe that's when that happened.
My birthday. That's a great story.
Honestly, I could watch that one over and over again because it's so entertaining. It has so much detail and perfection to it. That's when wrestling was perfect, or was one of the best times it could have been.
CM Punk is my favorite of all time, so I completely agree with you.
I personally wouldn't. I would not be upset if he came and won the Royal Rumble. I would definitely not be upset about that at all.
I have held out hope for so many years, and as a CM Punk fan, dude,
I've honestly gave up hope on him doing that, but who knows?
I want to see it, but it's never going to happen. But hey, we said that about Edge, and look what Edge did. I mean, Edge has not been back.
Yeah, but Edge never said he wouldn't come back. But with CM Punk, he's straight bent on not coming back.
He lost his love for wrestling, man.
I mean, look at the way they treated him, though. Honestly, in the background, they treated him like dirt. They didn't give him the respect he deserved.
I'm gonna ask you a few more questions. So everybody that wants to know what my okay, all right, man. I will definitely do that. Wow, thank you so much. One promo that stands out to me, and it's gonna shock Kevin because I just said I wasn't a really old school wrestling fan. 1985, Dusty Rhodes, Hard Times promo. I still get goosebumps watching that promo.
That was definitely probably one of the best promos I've actually ever heard. Honestly, I definitely would have to agree with you on that one.
It's so good because there's some performers like, and a lot of people like that I look at and say, "Dang, that dude's good on the mic." One of them is Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler deserves another push or at least one more try at it.
He does. The moment that I realized Dolph Ziggler should have been a world champion again and get a push. You remember back in I think it was 2016 when he was in that feud with the Miz and the promo he cut leading up to Backlash or whatever he was.
Yeah, I remember that.
When he didn't call him by the Miz. That's when you can hit so many personal levels. Because people can look at me and we all know my wrestling name is AJ Storm. But if I was like, I'm not giving you a shot at my title, and I go to walk off, and they say Lakota, that's gonna get my attention because you ain't supposed to say that. That ain't supposed to happen.
Right? Yeah.
Just a few more questions. I know I keep saying that. We're at 51 minutes. I'm probably gonna let it go to at least 60 just to get the perfect episode out of you, man, because I've missed talking to you and I'm enjoying picking your brain here. Back to football. Who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl?
Personally, I want to see the Bills win, just because all the other guys that's in the run right now has all had a Super Bowl. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes, and the Bills. With the Bills organization, they're an up and down organization. Who knows if Josh Allen will get another shot like this? So I definitely would like to see him at least snag one ring because he deserves it before he leaves.
Josh Allen
He's retired.
There is a story going around. I don't know if it's fake or not, but I've seen it in the news on TikTok. I always scroll through TikTok. It is going around that Aaron Rodgers is positive for COVID and won't play in the game.
That is so fake, dude. I saw that 1,000 times. That's one of the most fakest things out there.
Yes. A little bit of news. I know you said you haven't really been keeping up with WWE that much. Did you know that the WWE champion, Drew McIntyre, has tested positive for COVID-19?
Yeah, I saw that. Some guy was impersonating him. I saw that.
Yeah, dude, that was hilarious. I'm sorry. I hate Goldberg, but that was just pure gold to have Goldberg come back.
Gilbert is definitely one of the most. He's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer, without a doubt.
Just out of pure comedy value.
I would definitely, if I was one that chooses a Hall of Famer, I'd definitely vote for him, without a doubt. First ballot.
Yep. Just put Doink and the Gobbledygooker in there as well while we're at it.
I mean, you might as well. And if they ask why, you just look at it and be like, you don't have to have a reason why to put him there.
The greatest thing of all time. That's what I was going to ask you. Is there one performer in WWE or present, past, that you think should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, Gilbert. Definitely Gilbert, dude. 100% Gilbert. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Gilbert. I honestly, I'm going to be honest. I feel like he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I know we were joking just a second ago because he's like a parody of Goldberg and it's like funny. But just out of sheer comedy value,
he's got the crap beat out of him for nothing. He don't even get a title or nothing. I would definitely at least give him a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Kevin Owens just literally killed him.
Like I said, he don't even get a title shot or nothing. He just gets crap beat out of him. So I definitely give him a Hall of Fame ballot.
Kevin Owens killed him when he came back for the whole angle. I'm gonna give mine since I asked the question. And Kevin, you're gonna be like, "Oh, did he seriously just say that?" Here's my opinion, and this is what did he just say? Chris Benoit, the wrestler, belongs in the Hall of Fame. Chris Benoit, the person, does not.
Okay, so personally, let me be honest with you. This might touch a little personal note, and I'm sorry if it does, but I honestly believe he was set up. I don't believe he did it. If he did, who knows? But there's just a lot of parts of that story that was told that's missing.
I completely agree.
There's just a lot of things that don't add up with that whole entire platform and the story that they painted out to be for him to be a killer. It just don't all add up. So I definitely
entire family. There was studies that so he had what is it, Kevin? CTE. So it's definitely one of those things that like I can question and look at and go, wow, that's crazy.
Definitely one of those things where you'd have to be there to know what really truly happened.
I
And
don't think we'll ever know the truth behind the Chris Benoit story.
I was about to say, unfortunately, none of us will ever be able to truly say this happened or this happened. So
Can you hear me? You're talking about Chris Benoit.
Yes.
Chris Benoit definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Now let
The
me
wrestler.
explain. No, either way. And this is why. I know what Chris Benoit did was tragic. It was the worst thing you could ever do. But everybody talks about what Chris Benoit did. Nobody talks about the fact that he was mentally sick. It was proven that he had the worst case of CTE professional wrestling had ever seen. It was proven that he wasn't in his right mind. We recognize all these disabilities from other people, and we don't hold them accountable for what their disabilities make them do. But when it comes to Chris Benoit, nobody acknowledges the fact that the man was sick. Now, I'm not saying what he did wasn't bad. It was absolutely horrible. But he wasn't healthy. He was sick.
Right.
I'm not saying that takes all the blame, but he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Chris Benoit was a once-in-a-lifetime talent.
Once in a lifetime.
like me and Lakota was talking about, honestly, there's a lot of parts of the story that they try to paint that don't add up. So I honestly don't know whether to believe if he actually did it or not because they
And there's
just
a lot of conspiracy theories that say he didn't do it. I mean, we don't know. The fact of the matter is, the only 3 people who can tell you exactly what happened during those 2-3 days
is
are all
him.
gone, and nobody's here to tell you. So we can go by what we think happened. We can go by what the media tells us happened. But the reality of the fact is, the only 3 people who can tell you exactly what happened are not here.
True.
I thought for years that it was Kevin Sullivan.
We all did.
For years, and then the older I got, I realized what CTE was, and I was like, wow.
It's a real thing, man. Just like PTSD and every mental disorder you can think of. It's all the
same. Well, I got you on here again. I know you just popped in to say the Chris Benoit, but I've always wanted to know this question. What is your favorite wrestling match of all time?
Whew. You know, I've never been asked that question. I've been asked, I'm trying to get this light out of the way. I've never been asked that question. But the one that comes to recent memory would be Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes at Double or Nothing. It was a great match that told an amazing story.
Man, I cried. I'm not gonna cap. I cried.
Oh, dude, it was so emotional. The story they told, the things they were able to do. And you got to realize that match, leading up to that match, only had 2 promos. One promo from Cody, one promo from Dustin. That was it. There was no on-screen contract signing. There was no back and forth. There was no anything. The build to that match was 2 promos. That was it. And they did absolutely amazing.
And to be honest, I don't think that match even needed a build. You could have, the build's already there. I mean, they're brothers.
Well, it was a match that we all wanted in WWE we never got.
Do you remember when they went into that feud with Goldust versus Stardust?
I do.
Ended at Fastlane? That should have been a WrestleMania match.
Well, it could have been a WrestleMania match, and I think with AEW we all saw what we could have got. But the problem is, like you guys were talking about, Vince McMahon has to control everything. He would have watered down that match so much, it would have been nowhere near as special as it was in AEW. So that match in WWE, we saw what happens. I think it was Roadblock or
or something like that where they faced each other.
It's something to do with like cars or
Yeah, Fastlane. It was so over convoluted and so watered down, it took away what made it special. But when AEW put them in a ring and just let them tell their story, that's when it became special. So I don't think we would have got that match at WrestleMania. I don't think we would have got that match anywhere because it would have been just so watered down. We wouldn't have. It would have been nowhere near what it was.
there is always like those people that we can look at from different promotions and say, I want to see that match. And for me, I've thought about this literally all week because I'm a huge Leo Rush fan. I want to see Sammy Guevara versus Leo Rush, but I don't want to see it in like no indie promotion. I want to see it in an AEW ring.
I think it's a very good possibility. I've had conversations with both those gentlemen, and it's a possibility.
I know Sammy was actually like the first professional wrestler to ever acknowledge I existed. So I've always been
Same here. Same here.
Sammy was, the guy for me. So I've always been a Sammy fan. And I just felt like, why isn't he TNT champion yet?
It's not the right time. He doesn't need it.
I don't, like as I said, that question for us really wasn't the right time. I don't see the inner circle split, but I hate MJF, and it's my job to hate MJF.
Well, I think with MJF being in the inner circle, we're going to get what we got with Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega and Bullet Club.
Yes, and you keep bouncing questions that wants me to lead into other questions and thoughts. I don't watch Impact.
You're missing out.
I don't.
You're missing out.
I've tried to keep up with everything that's going on, especially because Bullet Club is like my thing. The whole hand gesture, the Too Sweet.
Private Party just had an amazing match at Impact last night.
Phenomenal. I want the North versus the Bucks already.
I want Motor City Machine Guns versus the Bucks and the North versus FTR.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about FTR. How can I forget about FTR? Wow.
You're still learning.
You're right, I am. I've never really until I watched your show, I never really wanted to dissect wrestling until because I've never been a technical guy and oh my god, he just put him in a headlock, but it's a mini story inside of
Dude, I'm still not. I'm not that guy. I'm just the guy I'm just like you guys. I sit down and watch wrestling and I enjoy it. I watch wrestling because we hear this all the time, and I'm sure you guys hear it too. Why do you watch that fake stuff? Okay, well, you watch the movie Transformers, you watch The Avengers, you watch Batman, you watch Superman. Do you watch it because you think it's real, or do you watch it because you enjoy the story? You enjoy the movie. You enjoy what they're trying to tell you. Pro wrestling is the same way. Nobody's saying if it's real or fake, but it tells a story. It's art, and that's what we appreciate about it. That's what guys like us come together and talk about, and that's all I do, man, is I appreciate wrestling for what it is. I'm not a statistician or I don't break wrestling down or anything like that. I just talk about what I like, and then I have other people come on like Zach or Hugs or somebody with a different opinion, and we debate it.
Hugs is hilarious.
Oh, Hugs is the best.
See, what a lot of people understand is when it comes to pro wrestling is that it might be fake, but then again, it still leaves a big imprint on your body and an impact way down the road.
Well, see, that's one of the things that I tell people also is you can sit here and call wrestling fake all you want. But when they do a superplex off the top rope, they're not getting into a harness and being lowered to the ground gently. That is a real fall. That is a 10 to 12 foot fall. I've seen my friends do it. I've done it. I just watched Zach do it at this last show.
But there,
it's like being in a car accident.
Yes. And you said that you've seen your friends do it. You were there when Bud Heavy and Zach Monster nearly killed each other.
Mm-hmm. I was.
What was that like for you?
It was. He did. It was good and bad. It was good because I saw Zach has become one of my best friends. He really has. He's He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. I saw one of my best friends doing something they love to do, but at the same time, I saw somebody hurting one of my best friends. So it was good to see Zach in his element, doing what he loves to do, doing what he does better than anybody. I strongly encourage Caleb to check out that Raven Havoc and Zach match because Zach,
I don't
Zach,
want free. Caleb, you can message me and let me know. I want to watch that match with him, and I want
Zach,
to because I want to see his reaction to that.
Zach does it better than anybody, and Zach tells the story better than anybody. So seeing what my best friend does better than anyone, but at the same time, knowing the toll that it's taking on him, knowing that he has kids to go home to, knowing that he has a wife to go home to, it was a little scary. But Zach got the win, and like I said, Zach did what he does better than anybody,
He did.
to include Bud Heavy.
We're not gonna get it because I could talk about Bud Heavy for an hour and a half, and it would end up everywhere, and then I would have a war with Bud Heavy, and then I'd have to put him through a table and have Zach help me.
Well, for anybody watching this, anybody who's going to share this, you can go ahead and share it, and you can go ahead and show Bud Heavy, and you can tell Bud Heavy that mine and his paths will cross again. It's not over. That low blow really upset me. Bud, if you're watching this, I'll see you soon. The 13th is coming very, very fast.
Listen, that's the type of stuff in pro wrestling that gives me chills.
I don't. God. Is what I think.
February 13th is coming very fast, and me and Bud Heavy will be in the same building. So we'll see what happens.
Is what I'm thinking in my head. I'm not going to spoil anything, but is it going to happen?
I mean, you could see a tag match with me and Zach versus Bud and whoever he wants to have.
Wow. Because you've had training. You've been talking about it for.
I trained pro wrestling for 3 years or for 2 years before I joined the military. I still do it every now and then, so I know what I'm doing. And you put me and Zach together, and we're both 6'5", over 250 pounds. You're gonna have a long night.
A very long night. That leads into the next question that I was gonna ask. Did he really kick you in the nuts?
Punched.
Or he punched you? Sorry. Did
Yeah.
he really punch you? Or was it just boom, scoreline? There we go.
No, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Are you serious?
No, I'm dead serious. Bud was very. When Bud got to the building that night, we were setting up the ring, and I was getting my notes for the announcer, and Bud saw me, and immediately he just started talking crap, and me and Zach were kind of talking to each other. We kind of let it go, and it wasn't supposed to happen. Apparently, the last show I had with Bud and Zach on together really upset Bud. Bud felt like I was attacking him, even though I was trying to be fair. So Bud felt like he owed me one. But at the end of the day, now I owe him one, and that's a very dangerous debt to have.
All right, I don't mean to interrupt, but I gotta go.
All right, bro. Thank you for your time, and I will definitely get with you and figure out when you're done so we can watch that match.
All right, thank you, guys.
You're welcome, brother.
All right, bye.
I'll wrap it up here in just a second because I want Kevin to be an actual guest in the near future. I don't, and to me, he doesn't. I don't know. I've always been a fan of like Stone Cold. Drinking the beer is cool, but when Bud shows up drunk and then tries to perform, it's putting not only him in danger, but it's putting his opponent in danger.
So if you walk outside right now and you step in dog shit, and then you step in gum, and then you try to wipe it off in the grass and you get some dirt and mud in there, what's left on your bottom of your shoe is worth more than Bud Heavy.
Wow. See, I didn't know if it was okay to say that because I don't want to overstep any boundaries, but I really can't stand that dude.
I'll say it. Like I said, me and Bud are going to be in the same building on February 13th, Real Pro Wrestling, Fort Myers, Florida, at Chicago Boys Bar and Grill. And we're going to see how that night plays out.
Exactly. Man, I'm just mind blown at everything that's happened tonight. Like,
Did you have fun?
I wasn't expecting one of the greatest professional wrestlers today, Zach freaking Monstar, to even acknowledge who I was, let alone come on and answer at least one of my questions. And then you, a guy that I watch every single day of my life and want to be like when it comes to doing this and entertaining people.
Dude, I watch your videos every day, man. I wake up, I see your video. Every day I wake up, I check my social media, and I watch all your videos, man. I watch every single one of them. You inspire me just as much as I inspire you.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. Like I said, I'm gonna close this out in a minute, but what a lot of people don't understand is when you have a disability like CP, it's very difficult to be okay with it.
hmm
For the longest time, I wasn't okay with it. I used to be angry. I thought it was something wrong with me, and then I saw a guy. I don't know if you know who this is, Gregory Iron.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't know he existed,
Greg
and
Iron is a very inspirational person.
I
And another one, you saw the clip of Zach hitting that guy with the twisted tea can, right? His name is Sean Hawley. Sean is a very cool guy. Sean is a very down to earth guy. Sean also has a disability. If you notice, go back and watch that video. Sean's right arm is that big,
wow.
but he still gets in the ring and he still works just as hard as everybody else. Go
That's what
back
I
and watch. Go back and watch the video. You'll notice how small his hand is. He's got a very short arm. He was born with a disability, but he didn't let it stop him. And Sean's going to be a guest on the show very soon.
good. Um, but that's like when I first saw Gregory, he has the exact same disability that I do. And I saw him doing what I dreamed of since I was 5 years old. So that really opened my eyes. And then, like, the older I got, I'm 17 now. I'll be 18 in July. I realized that being in the ring isn't going to be my thing. But I've had so many people tell me that I have such a captivating voice. And then I met
And
JR, and it really put into perspective. JR changed my life, and I will say that to the day I die because he gave me what I needed to get off my ass and do this.
well, you see, that's the best thing about pro wrestling. It's got a spot for everybody. Um, whether you want to be a wrestler, a ring announcer, a commentator, a referee, you want to be the guy working the lights, the guy doing the music, the guy working the fog machine, the cleanup guy, the ring crew. There's a spot for everybody. Just because you can't wrestle doesn't mean you can't be involved with pro wrestling.
No, and that's what he told me. One of my questions was like, "What do I do if I don't want to be like if I can't do those things?" He was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I want to be a part of it because it's everything that I've known since I was 5 years old." And he was like, "Why not do broadcasting?" And I was like, "Wow,
Do you know how the War Room started?
how did the war?" That was actually one of the questions that I had jumbled in my brain.
I did the exact same thing you're doing right now. I interviewed my friends. I interviewed my friends for a year. No, not a year. I interviewed my friends for about 6 months before I ever interviewed a pro wrestler. I got comfortable talking to people. I got comfortable asking questions. I got comfortable conducting an interview. I did the exact same thing you're doing right now. I sat at my kitchen table, right where I'm at right now, and I interviewed my friends. I interviewed people from the wrestling groups. I interviewed fans of wrestling. I interviewed collectors of wrestling. And it really helped. I didn't just jump into interviewing pro wrestlers. So you're starting off great. You're starting off right where you need to be. Interview your friends. Get comfortable talking to people. Get comfortable asking questions. Once you do that, then you can worry about start interviewing other people and wrestlers, because if you jump right into interviewing a pro wrestler, you're going to be so starstruck and you're going to forget all of your questions. I still do it today.
I
To
mean,
this
that's
day, to this day, I will interview somebody and forget every question I had. I interviewed JTG, forgot every question. I interviewed Garrett Bischoff, forgot every question. I interviewed Nick Aldis, the current NWA World Heavyweight Champion, forgot every single question.
so good. Nick Aldis is definitely top 5 best wrestlers in the world.
Absolutely.
I'm only gonna ask 2 or 3 more questions. So you said you didn't start out right off the bat, and one of the people that I always look at and like his story's inspirational is Chris Van Vliet.
I interviewed Chris Van Vliet on my show. I've actually had many conversations with Chris. And I told Chris the exact same thing you just told me. I told Chris that I respect him. I told him that I look up to him. But I told him I wanted to take his spot. Chris Van Vliet is the guy I'm chasing. Chris Van Vliet is the guy that I want to replace. Not because I want to take his spot, but because I want to be better than him. Chris Van Vliet started out interviewing just regular people. Started interviewing wrestlers. That's what I did. Chris Van Vliet also does ring announcing. I'm doing ring announcing. I am trying to do everything I can to beat my hero. Chris Van Vliet is my hero. I've told him this many times. He's the guy that I want to replace. Not replace as in he needs to go away, but I want people to think of Kevin in the War Room as much as they think of Chris Van Vliet and the Chris Van Vliet Show.
That's exactly the way I feel about you. Obviously,
It's
like
possible. It's definitely possible, and I wish you all the luck, but just know one thing. I work very, very hard.
yes, you
So
do.
I know you can do it, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice. There's times where I want to go out and hang out with my friends, but I got to stay home and do my homework, get ready for an interview. So you can do it, and I know you can. You can be better than I ever was, but it's going to take a lot of hard work. And the true question is, are you willing to do that hard work? And if you are, great. If you're not, you're never going to get there.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to end it, but I just want to close it on this statement. That was amazing. That was a punch in the face, and I needed that.
You just got to be willing to do the work, man. If you're willing to do the work and you're willing to wake up early and send the emails and do your homework, nobody in this world will be able to touch you at all. You will be better than anybody. You'll be better than people that you don't even know right now. You're going to be better than all of them. You're going to be better than the big names, better than the small names. Doesn't matter. And that's one thing that I do on my show is I don't care if it's a big name wrestler or an independent wrestler. I'm going to interview every wrestler that I can because every interview makes me better. You put in the work, you do the reps, you're going to get there. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a week. It's not going to happen in a month. But you stick with it. You keep doing it. You keep putting in the hard work. And sooner or later, you're going to look back and realize that you are exactly where you want to be. And the thing is, don't let anybody tell you can't. The people who tell you can't do it are the same sad, pathetic people who tried to do what you're doing right now and failed, and they accepted failure. The question you need to ask yourself is, are you going to accept failure or are you going to keep driving on? Because that's going to determine how successful you are. The only person standing in your way is you. That's it. Get out of your own way and do what you need to do.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close it here. It has been one of the best nights of my life. I'm going to continue to do this. I haven't got a schedule yet. Maybe every Wednesday. I haven't got it all figured out yet. But just come along on this journey with me. Support me.
Can I give you one piece of advice?
Yes, please.
Change your time. If you're going to go Wednesday, don't go at 8. Why? Your target audience is wrestling fans. What are wrestling fans doing Wednesday night at 8 o'clock?
Watching AEW.
When the War Room first started, it was Wednesday at 7. Because of my job, I had to change it to Thursdays. Thursdays, there's no wrestling. But if your target audience is wrestling, do not do your show when wrestling is on. Do it Wednesday at 7, Wednesday at 6. Do it Tuesday. Do it Friday before SmackDown. But do not hold your show when your target audience is going to be watching something else. Make them watch you.
Wow. I never really thought about that. But I'm gonna wrap it up. Remember, guys, if you guys want any of those cool cups, or if you just are interested to see what they have, go check out A-Rock Designs on Facebook. Let's see, what else do I need to plug? Look at that thing. That's the Darby Allin Cup, right?
Mm-hmm. This
Thing
is the Darby Allin Cup my wife made me.
That's gorgeous. If you want to have any belts made, where should they go?
Just message me. Heel Kevin 1 on TikTok, Kevin Rodriguez on Facebook, join Wrestling Review Society on Facebook. You can find me there all the time. Send me a message, and whatever belt you're looking for, I can typically work with just about any price range.
All right. And with that being said, guys, I have enjoyed my time with you. I love you all. Don't let anybody tell you can't do nothing, because you're the only person that knows what you're capable of. Nobody else knows your limits but you. So keep on grinding. If you ever have something that you can't work towards, just work that much more harder. I love
One
you
more
guys.
thing. One more thing. Right here on your first show, I'm going to call it right now. You will be the one that replaces me. You're that hungry. You're that determined. You are going to be the one that replaces me. I have to wake up every single day and keep doing what I'm doing so you don't pass me. You are the person I'm competing against. You are going to be the one who works harder, wakes up earlier, puts in more work. You're going to be the one that replaces me. But I'm not going to make it easy on you. But I'm calling it right now on your show. In a year's time, you're going to be just as big, if not bigger than I am.
No freaking way. You're right.
It's been fun, man. I appreciate you letting me come on. I appreciate being a part of your first episode. Go ahead and wrap it up. Send us home.
All right, guys. I love you guys so much. Hit that subscribe button. Also, go over to YouTube and follow Wrestling Review Society on Facebook and YouTube. You'll see the War Room every Thursday at 7 p.m. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys Thursday.